Hey guys, I just don't use this camera too often. Um, I just was on tonight because I want to talk a little bit about autism. Um, I know there's different spectrums and different stuff like that, but it's like I didn't never really like my mom like hugging me or anything. I didn't like hugs. I didn't. I remember wanting to go to the when I used to go to the mall. I would want to go to the I used to call them the indoor malls because they have there's they're more common now like malls that are not they're not really called malls anymore, but like shopping areas. But there's still a couple malls left, um let's say 60th Street Mall that's outside, and I like to go to the indoor malls because I wouldn't have to wear a jacket when it was cold out, and I wouldn't have to put sunscreen on it, and like the sunscreen having the process of sunscreen put it on, and it was like I didn't understand movies. Like some movies, it just takes me a long time to comprehend some movies. Like it took. I remember enjoying like Star Wars as a kid, and I watched the older, the original three, whatever you call them, the trilogy. And I watched it many times, and I enjoyed watching it, but I just did not understand what was going on, and it was just like hard for me to understand. It's like, well, it followed plots, and it was like memorizing names. So it was like I didn't know who so and so was, and it's just like, and like then we go to let's say Forrest Gump. I didn't understand when Jenny died. I didn't understand how that was sad. I didn't understand that part, and it was like death, the whole death part. I just didn't see why that was sad, and it was just like school was really hard because I was in school, and it was just um, hard for me to memorize stuff, and I couldn't read or write very well. It was like I wouldn't pick up a book to read, so it was just um, like the textbooks and stuff. Those that was frustrating because I could not read them, so it was like hard to use them. So it was like to do homework. It was like really hard. And some of the teachers, they would I had most of the time it was like weird because it was like most of the time I would get bullied by more it was bullied by teachers. And it was like I remember one time in sixth grade, no, it was seventh grade. Um, my mom has a different last name, so it was it, for 2 hours we had a special event going on, and we had to write a envelope, put an envelope with our address on it and our parents' names. And I went up to the teacher. I said, I can't spell my mom's name, and I really couldn't. And it was just because I was in special education my whole life. She goes like, and she knew that, and so her response was, "That's not funny." So 2 hours later, at the end of class, when it was time to go home, I gave her an empty envelope, and she said, "Why is this empty or not empty, blank?" And I said, "Because I don't know how to spell my mom's name." And I just don't find it funny. I don't. What's so funny about me not knowing how to spell and read and all that stuff? And I was 16 before I started being able to read, and I was willingly put up books or to read and stuff like that. So that the whole part is really I find really difficult, and I it seems to get easier or to get easier when I got older. Just like now, when I watch Forrest Gump, I understand how that part is sad, and I read now, but it's like it's hard because it's like I've and like it's most of the time I got bullied by teachers. I got bullied by students once in a while, but most of the time it was a teacher that was bullying me, like that seventh grade teacher. Um, I remember in elementary school in a different school district. I remember our group of kids. There was like 4 or 5 kids that had um, decided that I was gay. I'm not gay, but they decided I was gay and surrounded me and was pushing me and stuff like that. And I remember one of the teachers had me go in timeout. She came over and stopped it and put me in timeout. And then when the time was over, it went right back to them bullying me again. And I'm not sure how long this went on for, but I remember one time I told the teacher, I said, why don't you do anything to those other kids? They're the ones that started. They're the ones that have surrounded me. There was like 5 of them, and there was only one of me. And I was telling her about this whole stuff, and I was like, you should punish them too, not. And I could tell she was thinking about it. And then another teacher saw me talking to her and heard what I was saying, and came over and sent me to the principal's office and said, "You do not talk to our teachers like that." And so I went to the principal's office and I told him what happened, and I never saw that teacher again. She was like not on campus anymore. Not the one I talked to, with the second one that said that I can't talk to our teachers like that, but. And really, schools don't really do too much about bullying, and they just allow, especially nowadays, it's like they promote bullies, and it's just kind of sad. And it's like they'd rather protect the bullies and help the people that are being victimized and stuff. And I'm like, if I ever have kids, I'd be scared to let them go to school. I'd be worried that stuff like this would happen to them all the time, and I don't know if they ever have autism or not, but I'll worry about that and if I ever have kids. But it's just some of the comprehension stuff. It's like I'm able to talk about it and say, hey, this is like hard for me, because it's like the emotion part. I know that's one of the characteristics of people that are autistic is like emotion, having problems with emotion. And I like to do the same thing. Like, it's not the same thing like over and over again, but it's like I like a routine where it's like I know what's gonna happen, where I know like on Friday night this is gonna happen, and it's like Monday through Friday I work for an hour. And like some of you guys were talking about me working and saving some money. I only work an hour every day, Monday through Friday, 1 hour. Then you times it by minimum wage, and you got to take out taxes, and that's the money that I spend on my chinchilla food and my dog food and stuff like that, and the remainder is for gas and stuff. And it's hard because it's like, even like going to church, I only have a few pairs of clothes that are good enough to go to church, that are not too tight, and my weight goes up and down, where I went back down to 250, and now it's going back up again. So it's like hard to lose weight and everything. And then I used to go bike riding a lot, and right now my bike is broken. Don't have the money to fix the tire, and it's nothing major, but it's like it. Since I'm kind of big, I try to jump a curb, and it broke the hub on my tire, and so then they fixed it, but every so often it gets loose and it starts wobbling, and I could feel it rubbing against the frame every so often when I'm going up a hill and stuff like that, and yeah, and like sometimes like when I go places, it's like I'm not sure why, but it's almost like I'm shy, even though I know the person. It's almost like I'm shy. I remember my dad had a friend that it was I didn't know her, but I guess that they worked together or something. I'm not sure how they met, but she had a son that was my age, and the four of us would go up camping, and I just know the kid was my age, so it was like I remember I hadn't seen him for a while, and then I went to the bus station, the public transportation bus station, and I saw him there, and it took me a second to recognize him because I wasn't expecting it, and it was like he came up and said, "Hey, you look like my friend." I said, "Yeah, I am him," and he walked off, and it's like I should have stayed and talked to him because I enjoyed his company, but it was just I think it's got to be part of the autism. I don't quite understand the whole thing either. It's like where I liked him, but it was like I couldn't. It's like I couldn't stay and talk, even though I wanted to. I had plenty of time, and then I had some. So I have quite a few disabilities that got me to where I'm at now, and just to let you guys know, I've read some of the comments, not all, because there's so many of them on some of my other videos. It's like I did not choose this. I don't find this fun. Yes, I'm happy that some of my bills are paid, but it's not like everything's taken care of. It's I'm gonna try to. Like I said, I don't use this camera too often. I don't know how well you can see it. There's a line that going along there, and a line that goes into the kitchen, and that's the part of the remember how I was talking about on that one video where my ceiling was leaking. So that was the that was all part of the damage from the ceiling being leaking, and it's frustrating because it's like when I talk to my landlord, my dad never really taught me anything, so I don't know how to fix anything. But plus, that's not the point. It's his job to fix it, and he won't. It takes him so long to fix it. Like, what do you call it? The insulations and stuff. There's like it's an older house, so it's like the windows suck in there. There's like I can feel cold air coming through there, and then my front door doesn't fit right, and there's cold air coming through there, or like summer hot air. The same with my garage door. It doesn't fit right, and I really can't show you what I'm talking about because it's nighttime here. But it's like there's cold air coming through there. I remember going under the sink, the kitchen sink, to get some of the cleaning stuff that I have under there or something, and I could feel cold air coming through where the pipes come in. And I know there's some holes on it by the stove where the mice are coming in. That's pretty sure that's the mice coming in because we put my my landlord did put some steel wool there, and I haven't seen them since, but I'm not sure exactly where they're coming in. But so the windows cut, and he just treats me like since he knows that I'm disabled. It's like I'm not sure if he just treated me like I'm stupid or if he just doesn't really care or stuff like that. But it's like it takes for every. He told my he told my residential caseworker that's my payee that he'll come in and help put some insulation curtains around my bedroom window, which he did that one. But then they bought me some curtain rods to put some more up by the living room window. Let's see, that was 12 months ago, or 11, no, it was 11 months ago they said he was going to do that. And he also said that he wants me to have a cleaning crew, too. You know what? The cleaning crews won't make it because I just looked into it. $350 to $450 for them to come in and clean. You know what? All that money that I was going to spend for a cleaning crew or cleaning person, it all went out the door literally because there's a draft, cold air coming in, hot air going out. So it's like when it hit below zero for a couple days, my furnace was running non-stop for 3 days. And then I had that other little heater going. And trying to just keep this house warm. And
air conditioner is now off.
Just that whole feeling of like feel like I'm being treated like I'm stupid just because I'm disabled and stuff. And it's like a lot of people don't want to get to know people for who they are. They see that label and they want to treat you like your label, but it's like they don't see the person, they don't see the disability. And also I have I have a bunch of different problems, and like one of the other problems is I have like borderline personality disorder, and it's not bad, but it's just um um caused from what my dad did to me, and it's something that I definitely can't talk about on YouTube or anything like that. It's um but the borderline personality disorder, it's like I think it helps, or I say help, but like it, I mean like with the autism, where it's like I think that they kind of like feed on each other because it's like if someone like because just a lot of it's caused by trust. I don't. It's hard for me to trust people because I was supposed to be able to believe my dad, and nope, can't believe him. Don't trust him, and um, it's for like the only reason why people come over to my house is because they're paid to, or it's my mom. So it's like it's very rare that um, anyone comes over to visit with me, and it's like I have no friends that are willing to come to my house. It's I have to come to their house, or it's like all about them. But it's like I like to have a friend where I could come over right now every so often, and it's like I'd like to play video games with somebody like in person, not just online, but like here, so we could talk about games and stuff like that, and play and everything. But it's like no one wants to stop by, and it's like all I hear is excuses of why people don't want to stop by. And I had someone that let me drive all the way. I spent their house lives is 70 miles away in one way, so that's like 140 miles there and back, and then plus the gas, which I don't get great gas mileage, but it's not horrible. But it's every so often I get 20 miles an hour or 20 miles per gallon, but um, he allowed me to drive all the way to his house just to tell me that he changed his mind and was going to go hang out with somebody else. There's no one that wants to just stop by and visit me for who I am. And it's like with the borderline personality disorder, it's like when someone doesn't text me right away, I start thinking about like they must hate me too, and stuff like that. Or just start thinking like more negative about the whole situation. Or like and I was also told I have PTSD caused from cops, because like a lot of the cops don't know how to treat people with disabilities. Like there's some cases. There's been a case here with somebody that was disabled. He was 19, and he was afraid about going back to the state hospital, and the police were going there because his grandma said that she was having a hard time calming him down and she needed some help with him. And so the cops came in, and he had a knife in his hand, and she wasn't backing up. Like she was just standing her ground, and the kid was walking toward her with a knife in his hand. And so the way she calmed him down was by shooting him in the abdomen. I'm not sure if it hit his lung or not, but yeah, it's just so it's like when people don't text, it's like I start thinking that they're mad at me or don't want to talk to me anymore, or that they found some excuse of why they can't or don't want to talk to me. And I find out later that it's like one guy forgot to respond. He typed it but just forgot to hit send. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm just starting to fall asleep a little bit. I don't sleep well at all, and I in Colorado they call them host home providers, and they are people that um, they allow disabled people that for whatever reason can't live on their own, and sometimes um, they're disabled, but they're high functioning enough to live on their own, like me. But it's like they want to make sure that you're stable before they just let you go out and have your own place. And the whole system is like really bad. I lived with one of the host home providers in Aurora, Colorado, and she was from Indonesia. There's a lot of foreigners that do this job because it's like they can work from home and stuff like that. So it's like it's not like the clients stay home all the time, but it's kind of sad because it's like this lady was from Indonesia. She was a small woman, but she was extremely loud, and I'm not sure how that much noise could come from a little lady. And it was like I would in the house was designed up where it was like hardwood floors and stuff like that. So it was like she would sit in the living room, and which was like not too far from our bedrooms, and she would talk loud. So it was like um, I got put on a bad sleep cycle because of her, because it was like I would have to go to work at 9 a.m. And this was when I used to work 5 hours a day, and so it was like I would have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning